Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises, glory, and honor goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah Kadash. Yahweh been the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shah been the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now we're going to get into the scriptures and see how the Lord is prophesying about our slavery here in Babylon the Great, America. And in many places, he prophesied about these things. And he was speaking unto the children, the forefathers of those children that would be born in slavery. They would be born in captivity, you see, and they would be ignorant to who their forefathers was. They would be ignorant to where they came from, and what mission and purpose that they have in this life. They would be ignorant of all these things, and so he left a record for these individuals. That's why you have holy scriptures, separated scriptures, because holy means set apart and sanctified. Separated scriptures for these children that would be lost, these children that would be lost in the world, these children that would be raised unto parents that was lost, see, grandparents that was lost, great-grandparents that was lost. And so these children would need to have some kind of a record. Now he gave this to Ezra. When you go into Ezra, let's get that real quick. You go into second Ezra, and this is what was hidden from the children, due to, if they knew this information, they would maybe have a understanding of their condition. So this is second Ezra. I'm thinking it's 14. Second Ezra 14, yeah, because he talks about Ezra's going through a situation exactly like Moses, because Moses was confronted with the Lord and with the angels, who was a mediator for the Lord to give him the law, statutes, and commandments. See, and so this is what was going on with Ezra also. Moses was back when they was coming out of slavery due to the Egyptians, and then Ezra was when they was coming out of slavery out of Babylon. And so he said he gave Ezra exactly what he gave Moses. So when you get down to let's see, he talks about the law being burnt or being destroyed, meaning the records. Let's see here. Verse, where is it? Here it is. Verse 21. It says, "For your law is burnt. Therefore no man knoweth the things that are done of thee, or the work that shall begin. But if I have found grace before thee, send the Holy Spirit into me, and I will write all that have been done in the world since the beginning, which were written in your law, that men may find your path, and that they which will live in the latter days may live." So this is for the children that's going to be living in the latter days. See, the Lord is setting up provisions for them. He's setting up the records and the history, because it's going to be these Gentiles that's going to be trying to blind the children. That's going to be lying and telling all kind of lies to the children. He gets to talking about he already said which for they which live in the latter days. Okay, so he got the individuals to write what was going on. Verse 26 is the key part. It says, and when thou have done some things thou shalt publish, and some things shall you show wise secretly to the wise. So it's going to be an elect, a secret elect of people or children that he's going to give this to. He's not giving this to the stupid children. He's giving it to the wise children. Tomorrow this hour shall you begin to write. So Moses was given secret things to show to the wise, and Esdras was given secret things to show to the wise elect of the children of Israel. Okay, and so when you go into Jeremiah, this is what these writings was for. It was for children that was lost, children that didn't understand who they were. This is for Jeremiah 2:14. It says, is Israel a servant? Is he a home-born slave? See, he was born a slave, and he don't realize his condition. That's why Harriet Tubman had to take a pistol with her and say, we finna try to run away from Massa. See, and I'm gonna take this pistol and shoot your behind, because if you try to turn around and run back to Massa, and Massa torture your behind and tell where we done went, see, we can't have that. If you jump out here and run out here with us, I'm gonna shoot your behind before you go back to Massa and snitch on everybody like they did Gabriel Prosser in 1799, around about 1799ish. See, they went and told the secret plan to get away. Same thing they did with what's the guy? I always forget his name. Good gracious. They wrote the Birth of a Nation for him. It was about him, the Birth of a Nation movie. And so he was snitched on by these slaves that wanted to run back to Massa, especially in the movie. If you watch the Birth of a Nation movie, it was a little boy, he wanted to run back and tell Massa, these Negroes trying to get away, Massa. And I know exactly where they went. Same thing with the Indian scouts. You had the Indians that had a plan to get away from the cavalry, and they had scouts of their own people that'll scout the people out and say, we know where they go, we know how they operate. Master, we'll send you, we'll take you and show you just where they at. Okay? Because they some homeborn slaves, and they trust in Master more than anything. Master is their daddy. Master is their God, is their ruler. You see? So when you go into Isaiah, see, Isaiah was the major prophet. In chapter 5, let's get chapter 5, because he showed the condition that the Israelites would be in. Chapter 5, he says, in verse 13, he showed how they would be in a hellish condition. They would be in hell. See, this is what people don't understand about the scriptures. It's a hell and a heaven in the scriptures that ain't got nothing to do with the Christian Edomite theology, the Antichrist theology that is being pushed. Verse 13, it says, therefore my people is going into captivity because they have no knowledge. See, this is one of the main reasons he got the Hebrew scriptures and the Greek scriptures, so they can get the knowledge. It says, their honorable men are famished and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell have enlarged itself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, their multitude, and their pomp, that and he that rejoices shall descend into it. See, that captivity is hell. This is what the people ain't understanding. The scriptures wasn't talking about going and burning up somewhere. It meaning that it's gonna be a hell, see, of a condition that his people was gonna be in if they rejected this knowledge. Because when you go into Hosea 4 and 6, it say, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because they done rejected it. I done presented it to them because I done had prophets since the beginning. It was always people of our nation trying to educate us and tell us what was going on. David Walker, I think his name was David Walker, who wrote the Appeal to the Negro. See, it's always been our people trying to appeal to the Negro, but our people's rejected, and so the Lord reject them and don't give them the knowledge. And so going back to Isaiah 14, or going to Isaiah 14, it tells you what condition. Okay, 14 and 3. It says, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give you rest from your sorrow and from your fear and from the hard bondage wherein you was made to serve. What was they serving hard bondage? See, they were serving hard bondage in the land of their captivity. And this is what the people ain't telling them what's going on. They trying to give them this Christian theology that's a bunch of BS. Now, let's go to the to Revelation to match that up. See, that prophecy is gonna be fulfilled when we get to heaven, and that heaven is gonna be our kingdom. Look at verse 2. It says, and I John saw the holy city, New Jerusalem. So it's gonna be the first heaven is gonna pass away. I mean, this kingdom, this Gentile rulership is gonna pass away, and now the Israelites is gonna rule. This is what 2 Ezra 6 and 9 is about. This is why they had to take that out of the Bible, because it say that the Esau and the Gentiles would be ruling in the first heavens and the first earth, and then the one when they pass away, it's gonna be the Israelites rulership. See, that's gonna kick in, and the ruler is gonna be Yahweh. You see, and so once that kick in, you get this is what happens with verse 4. It says, and God shall wipe out all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any pain anymore, for the former things is passed away. This is what Isaiah is talking about. See, this is the prophecy that's in Isaiah, because in verse 2, this is when the pain is going to go away. It say, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. See, when they start to rule over their oppressors, that's when the pain is going to be going away. That's when they're going to get rid of this sorrow and their tears, and death is not going to be anymore. See, this is not talking about some utopia paradise where everybody going to be living on the same level. See, this is what the Christian church is lying about. So this will take us to Deuteronomy 28. See, once he chose these people, now he had stipulations on these people. He had a contract. See, and this contract had specific things that would happen to them if they obeyed or disobeyed the contract. And Deuteronomy 28 embodies the agreement. Everything a part of that agreement is pretty much bottled up in Deuteronomy 28. So verse 1 tells you what was going to happen if they obeyed and when they obeyed, because this is another one that a lot of people overlook. The beginning of verse 1, it says, and it shall come to pass. So it was going to come to pass that they was going to obey. See, there was no such thing as they gonna disobey and he gonna get rid of them. See, that's a lie. They was never gonna disobey and he was gonna get rid of them. They was gonna disobey and something was gonna happen, but it was no such thing as they was gonna only disobey and get did away with. See, that's the lie that these Gentiles done came up with. It said that it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord your God will set you on high above all nations on the earth. So this was gonna come to pass. He was gonna set them on high. This is why they took 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 out. See, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So when you go into verse 15, it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou will not hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, to observe to do all his commandments and statutes which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. What curses? The key point of the curses is starting at 40, let's see here, 48. That's the key part of the curses. It says, therefore shall you serve your enemies, which the Lord shall send against you, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now this is what's the stimulation. If you disobey and if you obey. Now both of them. Well, let's go back to 15 and see what that says real quick. Bingo. Look at 15. It say, but it shall come to pass. So it's going to come to pass that both of these situations is going to happen. See, that's why in Ezra's, he can say what he said. See, in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 was restated in Revelation 21. That's what Revelation 21 was talking about. Verse 1, where it's talking about the first heaven and the first earth was going to pass away, and then the one that come after that is going to be New Jerusalem. So the Israelites will go through the punishment first. See, and then so it worked in reverse form. When it came to pass for them to obey, then they was going to get the kingdom. And when it came to pass, when they disobeyed, they was going to go into slavery under the Edomites. See? And this is what Genesis 3, they try to put Genesis 3:15 on some fallen angel. That had nothing to do with a fallen angel. See, it was talking about two nations, but it had to word it in a certain way. It says, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So the heel of Esau was going to get bruised by the Israelites. See, and the head, they wasn't going to rule at first. That goes into Numbers, Numbers 21, Numbers 17. Am I saying that right? Might have been Numbers 24:17, Salaki. Numbers 24:17, it says, starting at 17, to get right to the point, he talked about the Israelites was gonna have a ruler, okay, and that ruler was gonna end up possessing the Edomites. But verse 20 tell you the order. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of these people. So he was the first of the nations that was going to rule. The other nations, which mainly the Israelites, was going to rule after the Edomites. That goes along with even Genesis 36. 36 and I think like 20 something, 21. Okay, not 21. Let's see here. Which one was it? 31, that's what it was. It said, and these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. See, that was just a prelude, or it was a foreshadow of what was gonna happen with the Israelites. That was just a foreshadow. Salakia. Now when you go into, let's see here, Matthew, talking about the last days, this is what Yahweh was talking about. And this is what the disciples were talking about too, because what? They knew numbers. They was being taught, and he was explaining them what was going on. So they was asking the question, tell us when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of your coming in the end of the world? So they understood that this world was going to have to come to an end, and he was going to bring in his coming. When he's going to bring in his world, and what was going to be the end of this world that they was in. Because they understood that they under the Edomites now. See, they knew who Esau was. They knew who the Herodian dynasty was. They wasn't ignorant of who these people were. And then when you go into Acts chapter 1, verse 6, they knew the outcome. It says, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, will thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Because he had died and was resurrected. So they said, well, since you done died and resurrected and you done showed yourself unto us, is now you finna start the kingdom? Was the death the thing you had to do to get our kingdom going? And he said, no. He said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or season which the Father have put in his own power. See? So that goes against that Trinity crap that they trying to push out on people and try to say, oh, the Old Testament God is Yahweh Shai. See, no, that's a lie. The Father and the Son is two different entities. And so anyhow, this is the situation, man, that these the contract he had with the Israelites is that they gonna go into slavery first, and that the Gentiles is gonna rule. That's what Luke 21 and 24 is about. Yahweh Shah said it clearly. These Gentiles is gonna rule, and then the Israelites gonna rule. This is what Revelation 2 and 26, 27, and Psalms chapter 2, verse 8, that the Israelites is gonna come and rule over the heathen. They're gonna inherit the heathen as a possession. See, it said it in Numbers 24, 18, that they're gonna have Edom as a possession. And Amos 9 and 12. All the heathen gonna be a possession of the Israelites. See, it's not just in one place and somebody misinterpreting one place in the Bible. It's all over the Bible, man. They gonna take their oppressors into captivity. Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. See, you know, where was God doing slavery? Where was you when it's time to read that Bible? See, you just was a homeborn slave, and you don't understand that this book is your records, because they beat the book up out of you while giving it to you and telling you to read the thing, or reading it to you in their own term, putting up pictures of themselves. See, the best way to get them is deceive them, because we can't destroy the records. We can only lie to them and say the records is about us, the slave master. See, and make them think the slave master wrote the records. See, that's the only way we can get them. We can't get them by destroying the records. We got to deceive them on the records and make them think the records is about us. See, that's the plan that they came up with in 1883. See, when they had this council to destroy the Bible, but they couldn't. They knew they couldn't destroy it. We just got to misinterpret it for the people. This is what what's the guy in I forget his name, Belgium, or he went to the Congo, went to the Congo and went to chopping off them Israelites' hands and feet and stuff, and taking all their gold back to where he was from. Belgium or one of them places, but in Neopol, or I forget his name, but he was an Edomite, and this all happened in 1883, and he wrote a letter saying, "Hey man, tell these people about religion and God. They already know about it, but you got to tell them that. Oh, you got to lie to them and twist that thing up, man. You can't let them get the real understanding. See, and so it's a fact." Certified fact and got records that these people is lying. But a Negro will sit up there and go to their Christian church, man. It's the most craziest thing in the world. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rekakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth, peace to the elect worldwide, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves, scattered around the globe on slave ships and through many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.